Every year when cherry blossom season comes, you might feel really inspired to draw them, but also a little frustrated when it doesn't turn out how you imagined. This year, something finally clicked for me. I found a simple way to draw Kanzan cherry flowers with alcohol markers. No heavy blending, no complicated colors. Have you ever had this happen when you are drawing flowers with markers? The colors feels too vibrant, the finish look a bit too glossy, or everything starts turning muddy, and you might catch yourself thinking, maybe markers just are not the right medium for flowers, or maybe I just need to buy more colors to make it work. I've been there too. This year, I finally made a Kanzan cherry flower drawing that I actually like. And I realized it's not the markers, and it's not that I need more colors. It all comes down to how I use them, the technique, and how I layer my colors. In this video, I'm going to share 6 tips with you, from outlining, shading, coloring to paper choice, so you can draw flowers with markers easily. It's actually way simpler than you might think. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aimian. Now the first tip I want to share is this. Make your drawing a little bigger. This is actually quite important. A bigger surface gives you more room to work with your markers. But I also don't go too big, because it can take too long to finish. So the goal is to find a nice middle size that feels comfortable to work on. With a bigger area, you can build a wider range of shading, softer transitions, and more depth in your colors. If you are just doing small doodles, that's totally fine. But if you want more control over layering and shading, a slightly bigger size makes everything much easier. Especially when you don't have many marker colors. The key to create different shades with just one marker is pressure and speed. The lighter your pressure and the faster you move your marker, the less ink goes down, and the lighter your color becomes. With every stroke, the first touch is always the darkest. So if your surface is too small, it becomes harder to create those lighter transitions. The ink doesn't have enough space to fade out naturally. That's why I recommend choosing a nice balanced size. Mine is about 6 by 5 inches, which is still small enough to finish quickly, but big enough to give you room to blend and shade properly. The second tip is to get a full range of shades from each marker by adjusting your pressure, speed, and layering. Let's take a look at the reference photo I took. When I first see the flowers, my instinct is to use a light hot pink as a base. For me, the petals look vibrant but also soft at the same time, so I went in with this color. But the drawing ended up looking too bright, not soft or gentle like I wanted. Then I tried some rose pinks, but they didn't capture that bright, blush-like, lively feeling of the Kanzan flowers. I even tried mixing these two colors together, but it started to look a bit muddy. So I used the color picker tool to check the colors in the reference photo I took. When I sampled the different areas of the petals, I noticed something interesting. The colors are actually mostly muted pinks, which similar to the ones I already have. But keep in mind, this photo was taken in the shade, so the colors would look different under direct sunlight. However, this gave me some reassurance that I don't need more colors. I just need to use what I have in a different way. So I decided to approach it differently. I first used a light yellow to create a warm peachy base. Then I added a muted pink on top as my main color. But instead of pressing hard and filling everything in, I used very light pressure and gently glide the marker across the paper to build up a soft layer. Here is what that color looks like at full strength. And you can see how different it feels compared to when it's applied gently. Even so, the petals still didn't feel as lively as the photo. To give it more vibrancy, I used the light hot pink again. But this time I blocked the starter of the stroke with a scrap paper and only used the lighter end of the stroke to layer color over the muted pink underneath. The change is very subtle. You might not even notice it on camera at first. But after going over it a few times, you can see the overall color slowly becoming more alive. My goal is to capture the feeling, not the exact colors. It doesn't need to be realistic, but I do want that soft, gentle, and lively feeling in the flowers. I've had these two colors for a very long time and used them many times before, but I never really used them this way. Drawing light color petals doesn't require heavy blending. It's more about being gentle and a little bit faster in certain areas. It's much easier than I thought. The third tip is leaving enough white space. In this case, it's an area where I use light yellow. In the past, I often ran into the same problem. I kept adding more color to increase contrast, but in the end everything became too dark and muddy. In this drawing, I left many areas almost untouched. I also used very minimal color on the petals, and it turned out much better than before. The fourth tip is about when to layer. Markers are kind of like watercolor. You can think of them as having wet on wet and wet on dry techniques. If you want softer edges, you need to add your next layer while the first one is still wet. The colors will naturally blend and spread on their own. But if you want the sharper edges, you need to wait the first layer to fully dry before adding more color. For this drawing, I started with a light color and kept layering while it was still wet, so the colors could softly blend together with almost no effort. Then, after building the light to medium tones on the petals, I waited for everything to dry before adding darker shadows. I've created a step-by-step worksheet on how to color petals and the leaves with markers, available to download on my Patreon. You will also find the full real-time drawing video there, along with many other worksheets to help you on your marker journey. The next tip is about using the right paper. Paper is very important, especially for beginners. For this drawing, I used Strathmore Mixed Media Sketchbook. You can find the link in the description box. This paper is thick and holds ink very well, but it also lets the ink spread just enough so your strokes don't look too harsh or too soft. Because of that, it's easier to create a wide range of shades. However, everyone has different preference when it comes to paper, so feel free to explore and find what works for you. This sketchbook, along with Kanzan Mixed Media Sketchbook, are my favorite so far. I'm still exploring other paper options, and I will share more in the future if I find something good. Last but not least, trust that mistakes can be fixed. Don't give up too early. I know mistakes can feel very scary. In fact, when I was drawing the leaves and parts of the petals, I used a much darker color than I intended. It definitely worried me at first. But here's what I learned. You can usually fix it. If an area is too wet or too dark, just wait for it to dry. For example, in this area of the flower, the shadow is too dark and solid. I placed a piece of paper underneath the drawing. Then I go back in with a blender marker and gently rub this area. I found a circular motion works best. The extra ink slowly spreads and some transfer onto the paper underneath. After a bit of blending, make sure to move the scrap paper to a clean spot so it can keep absorbing more ink. After that, you need to let it dry again. If you rush in and add more color too soon, it can become blotchy. But once it's fully dry, you can go back in and adjust it with the color you want. Most of the time, it blends in nicely into the surrounding area. I'm really happy with how this drawing turned out. The petals are soft and pastel. For the leaves, I used yellow-green with a bit of brown to reflect the early stage of Kanzan cherry blossom. Then I drew a yellow butterfly. The light yellow tone goes so well with the pink flowers. I'm really happy I was able to catch the feeling of the spring season. It adds so much joy and memory to my art journey. I hope this video helps you draw your favorite flowers this season. If you want to see the drawing process from start to finish, along with worksheets breakdowns, consider joining my Patreon. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever drawn cherry blossom with markers before? Or is this something you would like to try? And if you do try it, let me know how it goes. I will see you in the next video.